New footage just surfaced, showing Blacc Sam and Big U in a heated clash. But this isn't the first time Blacc Sam's been caught in heated conflicts with Big U. So what's fueling this latest viral fight? And does it in any way connect back to Nipsey Hussle's tragic murder? Let's break it down. The viral footage that exposed years of hidden beef. So we're talking about Blacc Sam, Nipsey Hussle's older brother, the silent mastermind behind the Marathon Empire, the man who's been protecting his brother's legacy with everything he's got. And when I tell you this man has been involved in some of the most intense confrontations in recent hip-hop history, I'm not exaggerating even a little bit. The footage that's been going viral shows just a glimpse of a beef that runs deeper than the Mariana Trench. We're talking about a conflict that involves Eugene Big U Henley, a former Rolling 60s Crips leader, community activist through his nonprofit Developing Options, and occasional music manager, a man who had ties to Nipsey Hussle as his former manager and road manager. And here's where it gets really twisted. Big U is the uncle of Nipsey's daughter's mother, adding a familial layer to their relationships. Let me paint you the complete picture of what we're dealing with here, because this story has layers upon layers that most people don't even know about. Blacc Sam isn't just some random dude from the neighborhood. This man is the silent force and mastermind behind Nipsey's empire, handling operations while Nipsey was the public face. We're talking about someone who has been described as earning $700,000 annually as a teenager through street vending, inspiring Nipsey's entrepreneurial spirit. But here's where the story gets absolutely wild, and why this viral footage represents so much more than just a simple altercation. The relationship between Blacc Sam and Big U has been marked by a major physical altercation in 2011, followed by reconciliation, and then escalating tensions after Nipsey Hussle's 2019 murder, including accusations of bounties, setups, and threats. Now let's talk about what's really been happening behind the scenes, because the viral footage is just the tip of the iceberg. The tensions between these two men have been building for over a decade, and it all traces back to power, respect, family, and ultimately, the tragic death of one of hip-hop's most beloved figures. The footage that everyone's been talking about connects to a much larger story, one that involves Big U's history of involvement in gang politics, extortion allegations, and physical confrontations. But let's rewind and understand how we got to this point, because the viral footage represents years of accumulated tension, betrayal, and family loyalty that's been simmering under the surface. Blacc Sam has been carrying the weight of his brother's legacy on his shoulders, and anyone who's crossed that line has felt his wrath. The most recent escalations have been absolutely intense. We're talking about Blacc Sam in 2024 interviews with Big Boy, describing rushing Nipsey to the hospital, remaining optimistic until his death shattered his faith.
I was confident bro was gonna be good, man. And just couldn't understand it, man. Just like the Twilight Zone after that. Everything I believed in, or my faith in, shattered.
He disputed the random murder label, noting strict security protocols were unusually lax that day, hinting at a setup. But here's where it gets really deep. He was hinting at insider involvement without directly naming names, but everyone in the streets knew exactly who he was talking about.
From my understanding, old boy walked up with no shirt on first to check the scene, because he know what's going on in that parking lot, and had a conversation.
The viral footage we're seeing now is the culmination of what's been described as bounty and setup claims from 2024 to 2025, where Blacc Sam leaked allegations that Big U placed a bounty on Nipsey due to long-standing betrayal and gang politics. Can you imagine the level of betrayal and anger that would lead to such accusations? We're talking about family, business partnerships, and street politics all colliding in the most explosive way possible. Now here's what a lot of people don't understand about Blacc Sam. This man has never been one to back down from confrontation when it comes to protecting his family's name and legacy. The viral footage is just the latest in a series of incidents where he's had to step up and handle business. We're talking about someone who has consistently shown that he never feared Big U or the Rolling 60s, because he and Nipsey refused to check in or bow to gang extortion demands. The context surrounding this viral footage is absolutely crucial, because it's not just about two men having a disagreement. This is about leaked wiretap audio that reportedly shows Big U also targeting Blacc Sam for what he knew and his refusal to stay silent. We're talking about a situation where Blacc Sam has been walking around with a target on his back simply because he knows too much and refuses to be intimidated. What makes the viral footage even more powerful is understanding Blacc Sam's track record when it comes to confrontations. This man has been involved in multiple high-profile incidents, and each one has been about defending his brother's honor and legacy. Just earlier this year, we saw him in action at the Marathon Burger opening, where on March 1st, 2025, Blacc Sam G-checked a West Boulevard LVD Crip affiliate named Rockstar 2800, demanding action against those who disrespected Nipsey online.
Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen. If the nigga ain't demonstrating for hustle, this is what I'm telling you. Don't come over here. Don't come over here trying to be. Then guess what? Go do something and come back.
The footage that's gone viral represents something much deeper than just a physical altercation. It represents the boiling point of years of accumulated tension, betrayal, and the collision of street politics with family loyalty. When you understand the full context of what these men have been through, the viral footage becomes a window into a world where respect, loyalty, and family honor are literally matters of life and death. The viral footage we're seeing represents the final breakdown of any remaining respect or civility between these two men. It's the visual representation of Blacc Sam's reaction to Big U's arrest, where he reportedly viewed it as karma and continued protecting Nipsey's legacy aggressively. This isn't just about personal beef anymore. This is about justice, truth, and the protection of a legacy that means everything to the hip-hop community. Now that you understand the current context of this explosive feud, it's time to go back to where it all began. The incident that would set the stage for over a decade of tension, betrayal, and the viral confrontation we're seeing today. The 2011 incident that started the war. The most documented direct altercation occurred around 2011 in a parking lot alley near the Marathon clothing store at Crenshaw and Slauson in South Los Angeles. This involved Big U, Nipsey Hussle, Blacc Sam, and even their father in some accounts. But before we get into the explosive details of what went down, you need to understand the complex web of relationships and tensions that led to this moment. Here's where the story gets really complex because multiple versions exist, but they converge on a violent confrontation, ending in gunfire and police involvement. The fact that there are different versions of what sparked this incident tells you everything you need to know about how deep and complicated these relationships were. Let me break down the different theories about what caused this explosive confrontation, because each one reveals a different layer of the tension between these men. The family dispute. Version suggests the fight stemmed from tensions involving Nipsey's daughter and her mother, Big U's niece. Nipsey allegedly confronted and assaulted someone at the mother's home for exposing his daughter to a dangerous environment, drugs, alcohol, toxicity, possibly harming the mother in the process. Big U, protective of his niece, confronted Nipsey at the store about disrespecting her. Can you imagine the complexity of this situation? We're talking about Big U being the uncle of Tanisha Foster, the mother of Nipsey's daughter Imani, which means this wasn't just about business or street politics. This was family business being handled in the most public and violent way possible. But there's another version of what sparked this confrontation that's equally explosive. The studio equipment and diss track version suggests Nipsey was using Big U's recording equipment and objected when Big U moved it to share with others. Nipsey responded with a diss track, "You Don't Got a Clue," prompting Big U to discipline him. Big U claimed this was about gang politics, not money or music, and that Nipsey needed to check in when entering the hood. Now here's where you need to understand the power dynamics at play. Big U wasn't just some random dude. He was a former Rolling 60s Crips leader from South Los Angeles' Hyde Park area who had transitioned into a community activist via his nonprofit Developing Options. This man had serious street credibility and influence, and he was used to people showing him respect and deference. But Nipsey and Blacc Sam weren't the type to bow down to anyone. These were men who had built their own empire from the ground up, who believed in independence and self-reliance. The clash between these different philosophies was inevitable, and when it finally happened, it was explosive in every sense of the word. Now let me paint you the picture of what actually went down on that fateful day in 2011, because what happened next would change all of their lives forever. Big U confronted Nipsey at the store, leading to an argument that escalated into a physical fight in the adjacent alley parking lot. Here's where the story gets absolutely wild. We're talking about Big U allegedly dominating the fight, beating Nipsey badly. Some accounts say he also fought Blacc Sam and their father, claiming a 3-0 inches win due to his size, 6'2", minus 6 5 inches, and martial arts training. Can you imagine the level of disrespect and humiliation that Nipsey and his family must have felt in that moment? But here's where Blacc Sam's loyalty and protective instincts kicked in. And this is where the story takes a turn that nobody could have predicted. Blacc Sam intervened to protect his brother, retrieving a pistol from the store and firing a single warning shot into the air to break up the fight. Now, when I tell you that what happened next sounds like something out of an action movie, I'm not exaggerating. LAPD officers arrived quickly, within 1 minute, saw Blacc Sam armed amid the scuffle, and opened fire from about 30 yards away. Miraculously, no bullets hit anyone. Let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about the LAPD opening fire in a crowded area, and by some miracle, nobody got hit. This could have been a tragedy that would have changed hip-hop history forever. The fact that everyone walked away from this incident alive is nothing short of miraculous. But the drama drama was far from over. All parties, Big U, Nipsey, Blacc Sam, and possibly their father, were detained, roughed up, handcuffed, and taken to LAPD's 77th Division Jail. Blacc Sam was arrested for discharging the firearm. Now here's where you see the loyalty and family bonds that would define Blacc Sam's character for years to come. All were released after bailing out the next morning, with Nipsey reportedly bailing Blacc Sam out for $1 million, and they flew out on a jet immediately after, $1 million bail. That tells you everything you need to know about how serious this situation was and how much Nipsey valued his brother's sacrifice. But here's what makes this story even more complex. The aftermath wasn't what you might expect. Nipsey and Big U reconciled within weeks, strengthening ties by late 2016. Big U became Nipsey's road manager for the Victory Lap promo tour in 2018. This reconciliation is crucial to understanding why the current tensions are so explosive. These weren't always enemies. There was a time when they worked together, when they were family, when there was real love and respect between them. The 2011 incident also fueled rumors of ongoing Rollin' 60s infighting, with Big U accused of extorting artists who didn't check in or pay homage. This pattern of behavior would become a recurring theme in Big U's story, and it's directly connected to the recent charges he's facing. What's really important to understand about this 2011 incident is that it established a pattern and revealed the fundamental philosophical differences between these men. On one side, you had Big U, who believed in traditional gang hierarchy and the importance of showing respect and paying homage. On the other side, you had Nipsey and Blacc Sam, who believed in independence and refused to bow down to anyone. The fact that they were able to reconcile after such a violent incident shows that there was real love and respect between these men at one point. But it also shows how fragile that peace was and how quickly things could turn violent when respect and loyalty were questioned. Now here's where the 2011 incident connects directly to what we're seeing today with the viral footage. The patterns of behavior, the issues around respect and disrespect, the willingness to resort to violence when family and honor are involved, all of these elements are still at play today. The 2011 incident also reveals something crucial about Blacc Sam's character that helps us understand his recent confrontations and the viral footage. This is a man who will literally risk his life and freedom to protect his family. When he saw his brother getting beaten, he didn't hesitate to grab a gun and intervene, even knowing the consequences. This level of loyalty and protective instinct is what we're seeing in all of Blacc Sam's recent confrontations. Whether it's confronting Rockstar 2800 at Marathon Burger, dealing with Brick Baby over his friendship with Eric Holder, or any of the other incidents we've documented, it all traces back to this fundamental character trait that was on full display in 2011. The 2011 incident also established Blacc Sam's reputation in the streets as someone who's not to be played with. The incident highlighted gang politics, family ties, and power dynamics in the Rollin' 60s Crips territory, and everyone involved learned that Blacc Sam was willing to do whatever it took to protect his family. But here's where the story gets really tragic. The reconciliation that happened after 2011 makes the current situation even more painful. These weren't just business associates who had a falling out. These were men who had worked through their differences, who had found a way to coexist and even collaborate. The fact that it all fell apart so completely after Nipsey's death makes the betrayal feel even deeper. As we move into the final part of this story, we're going to explore how Nipsey's tragic death changed everything and led to the explosive accusations and viral footage we're seeing today. The murder, the accusations, and the explosive aftermath that led to today. Now we reach the most explosive and controversial part of this entire saga, the events that transformed a complicated but ultimately reconcilable business and family dispute into accusations of murder, betrayal, and conspiracy that have rocked the hip-hop world to its core. What I'm about to share with you involves some of the most serious allegations in hip-hop history, and it directly explains why the viral footage between Blacc Sam and Big U has had such a massive impact. Everything changed on March 31st, 2019. That's the day that Nipsey Hussle was killed by Eric Holder, a fellow Rollin' 60s affiliate. And with that single act of violence, the fragile peace that had existed between Blacc Sam and Big U was completely shattered.
Mr. Holder walked up on multiple occasions and engaged in a conversation with Nipsey and the others that were there. He left and then came back, and subsequently came back armed with a handgun and purposely and repeatedly fired, striking and killing Nipsey Hussle.
But here's where the story gets absolutely explosive, because what appeared to be a random act of violence has been questioned, investigated, and dissected in ways that have led to some of the most shocking accusations you could imagine.
So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone.
He continued by saying,
so after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
Let me paint you a picture of what happened immediately after Nipsey's death, because Blacc Sam's reaction and his subsequent statements have become the foundation for everything we're seeing today. In 2024 interviews with Big Boy, Blacc Sam described rushing Nipsey to the hospital, remaining optimistic until his death shattered his faith. He disputed the random murder label, noting strict security protocols, for example, armed guards, no photos, were unusually lax that day, hinting at a setup without naming Big U directly. Now, when Blacc Sam started questioning the official narrative of a random killing, he wasn't just talking out of emotion or grief. This man knows his brother's operation better than anyone, and the inconsistencies he noticed on that fatal day have haunted him ever since. The fact that strict security protocols were unusually lax that day wasn't just an observation, it was a clue that something wasn't right. But here's where the accusations get absolutely explosive, and why the viral footage we're seeing today represents so much more than just a physical altercation. Blacc Sam leaked allegations that Big U placed a bounty on Nipsey due to long-standing betrayal and gang politics. Leaked wiretap audio reportedly shows Big U also targeting Blacc Sam for what he knew and his refusal to stay silent. Let that sink in for a moment. We're not just talking about business disputes or family drama anymore. We're talking about allegations that someone who was supposed to be family, someone who had reconciled with Nipsey and was working with him professionally, may have been involved in orchestrating his death. The wiretap evidence is particularly damning because it suggests that Big U was not only involved in planning Nipsey's death, but was also targeting Blacc Sam because of what he knew and his refusal to stay silent. This means that Blacc Sam has been walking around with a target on his back simply because he has knowledge that certain people don't want to come to light. Now, here's where the story takes another shocking turn that connects directly to the viral footage we're seeing today. In March 2025, Big U was arrested in a federal Rolling 60s takedown alongside figures like Brick Baby and Loose Cannon. He's charged with murdering aspiring rapper Rayshawn Williams over a diss track, mirroring the 2011 Nipsey dispute. The parallels here are absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking about a man who allegedly had a pattern of responding to perceived disrespect with extreme violence. The 2011 incident with Nipsey over the diss track You Don't Got a Clue now looks completely different in light of these new charges. This wasn't just about ego or respect. This was about a man who apparently had a history of eliminating people he felt had disrespected him or his organization. But the charges against Big U go far beyond just this single murder. He's facing federal RICO charges, including conspiracy to violate RICO, murder, extortion, fraud, and human trafficking, allegedly running the Big U enterprise.
Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise.
We're talking about a full criminal organization that was allegedly using Big U's reputation and connections to engage in a wide range of illegal activities. The fact that Big U was denied bail on April 22, 2025, with a judge citing him as a flight risk and community danger based on wiretapped conversations, over 20,000 intercepted calls, tells you everything you need to know about how serious these charges are. Over 20,000 wiretap calls. That's an unprecedented level of surveillance and evidence collection. Now here's where Blacc Sam's reaction to Big U's arrest becomes crucial to understanding the viral footage we're seeing today. Blacc Sam has reacted by saying Big U deserves this and has viewed the arrest as karma. This isn't just about personal satisfaction. This is about a man who believes that justice is finally being served for his brother's death. The allegations surrounding Big U's involvement in Nipsey's death have been circulating for years, but they've gained new credibility in light of his recent arrest.
Homie, they killed Nip too. Let's not forget, homie. They killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the details, Nip and Big U got into it.
The motives cited include past beef, including the 2011 diss track by Nipsey, You Don't Got a Clue, aimed at Big U over studio equipment and gang politics. The current murder charge against Big U over a diss track draws parallels, suggesting a pattern of retaliating against perceived disses. But it's not just Blacc Sam who's been making these accusations. SKG claimed Big U arranged Nipsey's murder due to betrayal and jealousy over Nipsey's independence. For example, not renewing his management contract. Others like podcasters Trap Laura Ross and DJ Vlad debated wiretaps implying implying Big U's foreknowledge or approval.
Nigga, I've been saying a long time ago Big U in the 60s had killed Nip.
The fact that multiple people from different parts of the hip-hop community have been making similar accusations suggests that there's more to this story than just conspiracy theories or street rumors. These are people with insider knowledge who have been putting their own reputations on the line to expose what they believe to be the truth. Now let's talk about how this has affected Blacc Sam personally and why his recent confrontations, including the viral footage, are so charged with emotion and intensity. Blacc Sam has stated he never feared Big U or the Rollin' 60s because he and Nipsey refused to check in or bow to gang extortion demands. This defiance stemmed from their independent hustle and community focus, contrasting Big U's alleged strong-arm tactics. This refusal to be intimidated is what we're seeing in all of Blacc Sam's recent confrontations. Whether it's the viral footage with Big U, his confrontation with Rockstar 2800 at Marathon Burger, or his issues with Brick Baby over his friendship with Eric Holder, all of these incidents stem from Blacc Sam's fundamental refusal to back down or be silenced. But here's what makes the situation even more complex and emotionally charged. Related incidents include Snoop Dogg allegedly confronting Blacc Sam after he implied Snoop aided Big U in Nipsey's setup. The fact that these accusations have rippled out to affect other major figures in hip-hop shows just how explosive and far-reaching this story has become. The pattern of Big U's alleged behavior that's emerged through these investigations is particularly disturbing when you consider his public persona. Big U positioned himself as a community activist through his nonprofit Developing Options and as a music manager, but is accused of running a mafia-like criminal enterprise. This duality, public anti-gang advocate versus alleged gang enforcer, has fueled public scrutiny.
The RICO charges against Mr. Henley and his associates reflect a pattern of crimes that runs a gambit from extortion to robbery to murder to tax fraud and to human trafficking, all under the umbrella of a well-organized criminal organization led by Mr. Henley.
The hypocrisy here is staggering. We're talking about a man who was receiving city grants for gang intervention while allegedly perpetuating violence. The fact that he was presenting himself as a community leader and peace advocate while allegedly orchestrating murders and running extortion schemes makes the betrayal feel even deeper. But here's what makes the viral footage so significant in this context. It represents Blacc Sam finally getting the opportunity to confront someone he believes was directly responsible for his brother's death. All of the anger, grief, and frustration that's been building up for years is finally being released in this explosive confrontation. Blacc Sam is producing an 8 to 9 episode docuseries on Nipsey's life, expected by late 2025, to honor his impact. This means that the story we've been telling you today is just the beginning. There's more evidence, more testimony, and more revelations coming that could change everything we think we know about Nipsey Hussle's death and the people who were supposed to protect him. And with that, we've come to the end of this deep dive. For more juicy content like this, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and check out the cards showing on your screen for more videos. Don't forget to comment your thoughts below.